Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before I keep talking, let me just do one thing. Morning, ladies. There we go. Wanted to hear my voice, make sure the audio hadn't crapped its pants. Because usually when I start the week on good form and I jump in and absolutely nail the intro, that's when the mic shits itself. So I made sure we were fixed from the off. And it seems like we are good to go. How is everyone doing? You had a good weekend? Nice? Yeah, nice. Did you enjoy Bibby's ad hoc streamage on Friday? What did you end up playing in the end, Bib?
Days Gone for about 3.5 hours.
And thoughts?
I continue playing it this weekend. I'm very much in at the moment with Days Gone. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, I use the fact that I'm level over 50 something in PUBG's season pass, and it's only a 50 level season pass, and over 100 and something on Fortnite, so I've got my Iron Man, so I don't need to keep grinding it anymore. I use the fact that I'd basically completed both of those for now to jump into Spider-Man Remastered on the PS5. And oh my god, it's so good playing a proper next-gen game. I mean, I tell a lie, I jumped in before that and 100%ed Astrobot in terms of 100%ed collecting the puzzle pieces and the artifacts and things like that. I didn't platinum it because that's just too much like effort for me. So I 100% the star, turned it off. I may go back and platinum it. Chances are probably not. But did that, put in Spider-Man Remastered. Did the first couple of hours, which I've done before twice. I did it on stream and then started on my PS4. So I did those bits again, which was okay. It was all right, nice. I passed that and I kind of see why I stopped playing the game twice. I mean, I played it on stream, and then I stopped to play it on my own console, and started again, and then I stopped. And I can kind of see why I did, because those are almost the hand-holdy, super easy. These are a bit boring. Oh, look at all the side missions, overwhelm me. Kind of like, look at all the things you could do. So I thought, yeah, like, I didn't not enjoy that experience. It just wasn't exceptional. Anyway, after playing that, starting to unlock the next few bits, Spider-Man goes from like first gear to fifth gear instantly. It's just so good. I mean, traversing the city using the web is ridiculous. I knew that anyway, but I bought a really cheesy little skill upgrade which allows me to do flips and backflips and roly-polies and shit in the air, which
Why
just
wouldn't you?
game changer. I mean, do I want to be able to kill enemies quicker, or do I want to flip and spin? That's what I want to do. So yeah, but yeah, played that last night. Started around, I don't know, 6, 7, 8ish or whatever. Chloe went to bed, and I turned around to Danielle and says, "What time is it?" Expected to say 10 o'clock. She was like, midnight. I was like, what? Where the hell has time gone? So yeah. If you haven't played Spider-Man, and you're thinking about playing it, even if you're not playing it remastered, if you're thinking about playing it, it genuinely is incredible. I know people have told you that before, and I know that I've said that in the past, but getting past that first few hours and getting properly into it is wonderful. So that's what I will be doing over the next few days. It's literally like playing a movie. The face stuff is incredible. It's so good. So good. Jim Butters says, let's go ish. Gagad says, good morning, gents. How are things? How are we all doing? Bacon Chin says, platinum it, you coward. I have one platinum in my entire gaming life, and that is PUBG, surprisingly. And even that was only a platinum because I realised there was like one mission that I hadn't done, so I went for it again. So yeah, PUBG remains my one and only platinum. Lake, good morning. How are we doing? Mr. T says, Wagwan. I'll read. How is everyone doing? Just in case you don't know, you guys all do, but in case anyone else here is new, my name is Graham. This is the man that we call Rocky Balboa, the bib man.
Nice.
Yeah. Remembered it this time. So obviously, for the, if you don't know, Bibby looks like he's wearing a Rocky Balboa dressing gown. It's actually a Batman dressing gown, but there you go. The Rocky Balboa is sat there. So my name is Graham. This is Bib. We together are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond. As some people might even say it's the UK's #1 video games podcast. We are those people, but you know what? That opinion still counts. Speaking of opinions, we're going to give you our thoughts and impressions, that is, on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. And we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. If you're in the chat live right now on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, where we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. on the dot. Ish.
Ish.
It's 10:48, so not quite the dot, but you know we can kind of
Close.
see the dot. It's still visible. It's still visible. Anyway, we go live at 10 a.m. And we give you our thoughts and impressions live. And if you're in the chat, as Lake, as Asim, as Bacon Chin, as Gagad, as Jim Butters, and anyone else that is lurking is right now, please feel free to use your voice in the chat on behalf of those that are watching and listening on demand later on. On demand, you say? Yes, we turn this live stream into a podcast, a video for YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So if you're in the chat, feel free to use your voice on behalf of those. But before we jump into the content, into the news, we have a couple of things to mention. The first thing, and it's very, very apparent today, is that we have a giveaway thanks to the lovely people at 2K UK and Muscle News. So 2K have given us a selection of games, WWE 2K Battlegrounds, PGA 2K21, and 2K Mafia Trilogy. Yeah, it doesn't say 2K, but I'm going to keep saying that. It's the last time I can say it, so I've got to get it in. So yeah, Mafia Trilogy, Battlegrounds, and PGA, all included in a giveaway bundle with a Muscle News selection box. Shout out to Muscle News, who I'm wearing their hoodie again today. Yeah, nice. So if you want to win that exclamation mark giveaway in the chat, that is a social giveaway through player.gg, basically one of the giveaway websites that you might have seen, like a Gleam or things like that. So just click through to our social post and make sure you verify. If you do follow, if you do retweet, do any of those entrances like anybody can do, just make sure that you verified it with player, because I've seen a few people that have been retweeting it but haven't actually done that and verified it in player.gg. So you just empty retweeting. I mean, we appreciate the retweets because it's free exposure, but you're not actually entering the competition. So click the link and follow it through. The other thing to mention is Cyberpunk. We will be giving a copy of Cyberpunk away next week. Exclamation mark Cyberpunk for that. But that is only to subscribers. I can see that Chatbot actually pretty much on the money says we use GT Mega Racing chairs in our studio and our home setups. We do use GT Mega Racing chairs. I just want to shout out to GT Mega as well this morning because we have new stuff.
Yes.
So this thing, you can't quite see. Let me switch to the alternate cam. So you can see a little bit better. You probably won't get the full picture even from my alternate cam. So GT Omega not only do our lovely chairs, we also have like backpacks, mouse mats and things like that, but they've also sent us this. Yes, that's right. They do cellophane plastic wrapping. Nice. There we go. Moving on now. I'm joking. Within this cellophane wrapping, let's get it out. This is a floor mat. So we have GT Omega carpet, basically. So if you have hardwood floors and you're fed up with your chair rolling around all over the place, or you have carpet and your chair gets a bit bogged down in it, or you want to protect your carpet, or just protect your floors from the courses, the roller wheels that your chairs have, GT Omega now do floor mats, and they've just sent myself and Bib a floor mat so that we can rep GT Omega in style. Not that you guys have to buy them, but if you do, that link in the chat will take you through to GT Omega's website, and you can get a little bit extra discount using our code ICU. Not sure if the code is actually working at the moment because it's Black Friday weekend, but using that link, if there is discounts available right now, it will work using that link, and we also get a kickback. So if you do buy anything, it supports the channel. Thank you very much. Anyway, advertising, spawn, and all that stuff over. Let's jump into some news. We have quite a mixture of stories today as well. Bibby, in his rounds, has managed to find not only next-gen games, next-gen console controversies around sales, but he's also managed to find an article that includes Uri Geller. I mean, wow. Wow. That's amazing.
Again, it's Cyber Monday, so the news is quite limited again because it's just websites putting out 7,000 different articles to try and get you to buy certain products. So the news has been quite slow, as you can imagine, over the weekend. But we've managed to find a news article with Uri Geller, so he's the real winner here.
Hey, just before we jump in, Lake says Football Manager 2021 Touch finally tomorrow.
Hey.
So Touch, I'm assuming that's iPad, iPhone. Does that also come out on PC as well? Can you use the Touch stuff on Touch PC?
Well, the Touch one is the one that I played for like the last 2 years on Nintendo Switch, but I'm sure that's the one that is coming out on the Xbox as well. I could be wrong. It could just be the full version of the game coming out on the Xbox, but I don't know if it is. It may be the Touch version as well.
Interesting. It's a Championship Manager 01 or 02 version of Football Manager. As someone that doesn't really play manager games, I'm just going to nod.
Yeah, basically, it tries to strip away as much as it can. Like, 0102, you could probably do a season in like 4 or 5 hours, whereas the touch version, it still takes like 12 to
12
14
years.
hours. Yeah, but it doesn't take 38 hours to finish a season like it does on the in the full version.
I mean, if you want something that takes a lot of hours to finish the season that you don't really play yourself, but kind of get involved in delivering the backroom details, then we are going to be streaming Masters of the League after this episode today, which is our PC Modern Master League on PES 2020. We haven't moved to 2021 yet, but if you want to get involved, then feel free. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, nice little segue. Boom, 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 boom. Anyway, back into the plan for the day. So today's first news article of the day is written by Vikki Blake at Uri Geller. Changed the source, and it should work. Nice. She says, Forza Horizon 5 might be coming sooner than we think. The tagline says, I think we might get the next Forza Horizon game first, and I think that might be coming this year. I mean, I appreciate the informative tagline, Vikki, but I mean, you guys at Eurogame usually nail it with some sort of badass pun in there, so I feel a bit let down on a Monday morning. God. Forza Horizon 5 might not have been announced yet, but one journalist has gone on record to say we might get it ahead of the recently revealed Forza Motorsport, possibly as early as 2021. In the podcast, The Xbox Empire, GameBeat's Jeff Grubb revealed that he suspects we might get the next Forza Horizon game first, even though Playground Games has yet to confirm that the game is in development. We saw Forza Motorsport get teased a few months ago, but I think we might get the next Forza Horizon game first, and I think that might be coming this year, Grubb said. Thanks to VGC. They're in a weird situation where, for some reason, Playground says it does seem like they may be ready to go first. I think I know the setting, but I'm going to let them announce it. As yet, there's been no confirmation either way about the rumours, so all we can do is treat the claim with healthy scepticism. But as always, we'll update just as soon as we know more. Forza Horizon 4 isn't just one of the best Xbox exclusives, it's also one of the greatest racing games ever made, Digital Foundry said in its analysis of the Forza Horizon 4 upgrade on Xbox Series X and S. A couple of years back, we lauded excellent Xbox One, One X, and PC versions, and loved the way that Microsoft's enhanced console offered the option of 1080p 60 racing, a first for the series. With the arrival of the Xbox Series X and the Junior S, 60 FPS is now the standard. Advantages for the new version are plenty across the board, but surprisingly and disappointingly, there are some visual cutbacks too. So that was about Forza Horizon 4, but Forza Horizon 5 might be on the horizon. Bib, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the sooner the better, really. I mean, there's been a lot made of the Xbox launch lineup. I mean, on the other side, there's been a lot of noise made about the PlayStation lineup, saying apparently it could potentially have been the best launch lineup that there's ever been. And unfortunately, it appears that the Xbox, we knew this going into it. This isn't new news, that they said that there wouldn't be some games coming out until perhaps later on next year. So the sooner that they can start to get these first party titles out the door, it's going to benefit them in the long run. I think there's only so much Games Pass that you can keep up with, despite there being like hundreds of games that are on the Games Pass for you to be able to go through. Sometimes you want to be able to play the latest and greatest, and especially ones that take use of what's available in the brand new next gen console. And there may be some Game Pass games in there that kind of fit that bill, but a proper native Xbox Series X game is exactly what they want, and that's exactly why people buy the console. It isn't just they don't want a Game Pass emulator. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think trying to get one out the door as soon as possible is the absolute priority, but don't rush it. I mean, they should have had Halo as a launch lineup game. Obviously, that didn't come to fruition because there's still a lot more work to be able to do on that to try and make it a next gen game. Especially from the screenshots and the trailers that we've seen so far, they don't look exactly glamorous. So to stop the backlash, obviously they push that back. But yeah, sooner the better, I think. As far as the game that's going to get them back out there with utilizing everything within the console, I think so. Yeah, I mean, a racing game can, especially with one like Horizon, that goes through all different terrains, all different seasons. It could look absolutely stunning. Horizon 4 was a stunning game. The only time I actually got to play that was when I was at Arcade Club, but that was it was I
Was
was
that in
blown away.
the racing sim setup?
No, that was Dirt 4, I think. Or it was one of the. It may have even been World Rally Championship. But no, for Horizon was one of the ones that are on the couches. You know, where the TVs are back to back and people are playing FIFA on one side, and that was on the other. So I got to experience that. Had a few races. It looked phenomenal. So I can't imagine how good the new one's going to look. But yeah, I think getting out the door as soon as possible should be their absolutely priority. Bearing in mind it has to be functional, it has to work. They can't just throw it out and expect it to bring in all the plaudits. It needs to be next gen. I think that's what they're trying to establish.
Um, See, this is where my I'm not a noob to racing. I'm probably the opposite to racing games. A noob is someone that's fresh and doesn't really know what they're doing. I'm like the granddad when it comes to racing games. Oh, I remember I used to love racing games back in the day, but now I don't know anything about them. So is there an olb? You can get a noob. I'll be an olb. So I know nothing about racing games anymore. I don't play any racing games at all. Really, I didn't realize that Horizon is that like a separate branch of Forza games? So they're talking about Forza Motorsport and Forza
Yeah.
Horizon. I didn't realize. So is that like Battlefield and Bad Company, as in like something that came off as one game and then went off on a separate tangent?
So
Um,
motorsport is like the Gran Turismo. It's track racing, and then Horizon is shall we call it the Need for Speed? Shall we say it's uh outdoors. You can go through all different terrains. It'll like send you through winter in the Alps or summer in the desert. So you play it. You're racing on different tracks rather than it just being a track based game.
okay. Yeah, Tito says Horizon is the arcade version, Motorsports is the geeky version. Tudor,
I mean,
simple and straight to the point. Pow. Good morning, by the way. Welcome in. I mean that's a good summary for someone like me, who is an olb, like I said, not a noob, but an olb. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Okay, that's a good explanation. So that's like having Need for Speed and Gran Turismo, not the same series, not made by the same brands at all. But say Gran Turismo is Motorsport, Need for Speed is Horizon, that kind of thing. Although under the same Forza brand. It's like a brand banner. It's a banner. That's what it is. Nice.
Brana.
Okay, I mean that doesn't surprise me in that sense. So when we break it down in that sort of way, the fact that Forza I need to decide. Am I saying Forza or am I saying Forza? Which one am I going for, Graham? You can't have both. God, pick one. Okay, I'll stick with Forza. I'll try be a bit of European flair. Forza, as opposed to Forza. Okay, so Forza Motorsport is the Gran Turismo. Then Gran Turismo is a game that you don't get every year. You get one every few years, maybe one a generation, depending on the pace that they're putting them out, and it's a spectacle when it does arrive. Pure racing simulation. So the fact that we've seen it doesn't surprise me because, okay, it's a game that you can get to a good level pretty early on. But then to finalize everything, simulation, the devil is in the detail. It's all about the intricacies of gear ratios and all of the other stuff that I don't fully understand about cars. Other than, oh, that looks nice. Yeah, nice. Yeah. So you can do all of that stuff to it, but having that nailed on is important. So it doesn't surprise me that we've seen it, and it doesn't surprise me that there's still potentially a lot left to come on it. So that coming out after Forza Horizon 5, or Forza, it's either I've already pissed it up. That coming out after Forza Horizon 5 doesn't surprise me. I'm trying to stick to one way. Okay, I'm going to stick with Forza. I'm going to be my uncouth northern self. So Forza Motorsport coming out after Forza Horizon 5 wouldn't surprise me because Forza Horizon 5 is the, dare I say, more casual. It's the more arcadey game, as Tito said. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me that could be coming soon. It's good for people that want Xbox exclusive though. Downside is if you're after an Xbox exclusive and you don't play racing games, okay, well you've got two on the way. But yeah, there you go. I mean, the more the merrier though. The fact that it's on the horizon. Pun unintended then, and the fact that it could be coming probably to Game Pass as early as next year is good because Xbox need to start punching things out. I mean, that does kind of look good for the year after though. Let's say Horizon comes in 2021. They're going to need to give that breathing space, even if Motorsport is finished by say start of quarter 2 2021. They're not going to release that until absolute end of year or 2022, probably 2022, which is where a few other things have already been not confirmed but ring fenced as potentially releasing. Imagine getting some of the bigger Xbox titles. Obviously, Halo will come in 2021, but some of the more rumored things, like was there a Fabled and a few other things as well, potentially speaking about.
There has been quite a lot announced. It's just not here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at though. But like all of those bits that have been announced, the kind of ring fencing for them is 2022. And if you add Forza Horizon 5 next year, that means I've said it again. I've changed back now. I'm back on Forza rather than Forza. So that means Forza Horizon 5 comes next year. Forza Motorsport the year after. That's gonna be a big year then. If you've got all of those rumored games plus Forza Horizon, Game Pass looks like an absolute bargain right now for the amount of games on it.
Yeah.
But Game Pass now is looking back. As much as, let me just chew this week, get it out of the way. As much as I love Game Pass and the offer that it is, it's very much living in times gone by. It's not living now and it's not living the future. That's what all the criticisms are about Xbox. And yeah, we're pretty much 2 years away, or at least a year and a half away. But 2022 could be huge for Xbox then. I mean, if you have one in the meantime, no doubt there will be more things to come. There will be third-party things that you can play across all of them anyway, but that's going to be an absolutely massive year.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. That's the beauty of it at the moment, though. Obviously, we are in the next gen, and PlayStation 5 have just come out the gate with some amazing launch titles, as well as the PlayStation Plus collection, which for me at the moment is more than worth paying it. Obviously, because I'm getting to experience Days Gone that I never got around to playing the first time round. But Xbox have got some bangers in the pipeline, and I think Horizon with the dynamic lighting. I mean, I don't know. Did you ever see the trailer they did last year where it just started off in different locations? There was different cars, so you could ride in like a desert buggy going through the forest, and then the dynamic lighting had changed, so that it changed the time of day. So it'll be like mid-afternoon, and then it'll go into night, and then your headlights would come on, and all the terrain would be quite dark around you. It looked phenomenal. Now, if they can make it, well, they are going to make this game look even better than that. It's going to blow a lot of people's minds. It's going to show the absolute power, hopefully, that the console will be able to output for everyone to absolutely enjoy. So I think it may be worth the wait. With Xbox, they're getting a lot of shit at the moment for not having any launch titles that are actually worth anything because they haven't got any. They're just showing the Xbox Games Pass stuff, which again is unbelievable value for money. But people bought a next gen console to have next gen titles, and that's just unfortunately something that they haven't got round to producing yet. Forza Horizon is definitely one of the ones that could show this console off in the greatest light possible. It's just they need that sooner rather than later, but obviously don't rush it.
Jumping back in the chat, Gaz J. Good morning, dude. How's things? He says Xbox have to up their levels in this gen. I agree. I think they agree as well. As I mean, we mentioned it a few times. The studio acquisitions throughout the whole of last gen has all been engineered towards taking care of that. So I think that will step up. It's just going to be a bit of time. Tito says, I just want the Ascent. That was due out this year, but that's been pushed back. Which one's the Ascent? Is that the top downy one? I'll have to look at that one. The thing is, the downside of watching the Xbox showcase and the PlayStation announcements and the Game Awards and all that things, when we did all the live watch longs through the summer, there was about 60 games in total, so they all kind of merged into one. Diablo type loot issue. Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize that had been pushed back. I must have missed that one. David says, I think the last racing game I played besides the Destruction Derby was Outrun on the Master System. Damn, that's a long time ago. Yeah. Good game though, by the way. With the first party ability that Xbox have, if they get it right, Game Pass will be huge value for money. I mean, it is huge value for money, but yeah, it will be absolutely monumental if you start getting. I'm gonna do this on purpose now. Forza Horizon 5 and Forza Motorsport. If you get both those plus Halos and undoubtedly New Gears. Plus, then you throw in all the Bethesda titles, so the Dooms and the Elder Scrolls, which Bibby's just bought a 75,000th copy of Skyrim over the weekend, was it? Is that what it was?
No, I haven't.
Lies. So yeah, absolute huge value for money. With these studios they've bought, it does have massive potential. Yeah, absolutely, huge potential. But that's where my kind of sustainability thoughts come in terms of Microsoft has all the money in the world. Well, they don't. Jeff Bezos does now, but Microsoft are very close in terms of they have a monumental amount of money. So if any company can afford to take a little bit of loss leading in terms of profits, then Microsoft can do that. And I imagine they've done that to some extent with Game Pass. The amount of marketing in Game Pass when it first started, it was everywhere. To the point where I didn't even realise it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the greatest marketing at first, because I saw it and just thought, okay, fuck off. I'm not interested. I don't know what it is. And I think whatever their message just wasn't cutting through. And the only way it started to cut through was when some people picked it up and gave you that sort of like mates recommendation. Do you know what? Game Pass is actually really good. I mean, I'm getting all this stuff with it. Oh, is it? I'd seen it and I've got a free code for it, but I didn't even look at it because that was kind of me and a lot of other people's experience with the early Game Pass marketing. Now we understand what's in it. It's incredible the amount of games that you get access to all the time for what is relatively a low amount of money in terms of the world of video games and how much you could spend. It is incredible. It's just whether they can keep that price and keep adding things and undercutting value elsewhere. So whilst they could probably do that, it's just a case of, does that hit their profits, and does that have an issue? Do their shareholders have an issue with that? I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Time will tell. One thing to mention, though, I'm going to throw in a new article which isn't on the agenda. I say a new article. It was actually from the end of last week, and Bibby did actually mention this, but he just touched on the PS Plus collection, and it starts to fit into the PS5 conversation, which is where our next article is going to be after this. So I'll jump into this one first. PS5 users are reportedly getting banned for selling the PS Plus collection unlocks to PS4 owners. So obviously talking about Game Pass, PS Plus collection is one way that Sony is looking at countering that. Sony do know that Game Pass is huge, and Jim Ryan has confirmed in a very un-PR esque answer. When I say un-PR esque, a PR answer is something that doesn't tell you much, but gives you a little bit of, oh, you never know, but I'm actually not going to commit to anything. He full on committed to, we are looking into this, but I can't tell you what it is right now. So they know Game Pass is something that they want to look at. For now, the opportunity for them to take that step is the PS Plus collection. So if you have PS Plus and you get a PS5, you get access to a shitload of Sony and third-party games and some incredible games in there, including Days Gone, which Pippi streamed on Friday. So users report receiving bans after unlocking free games via a loophole. So Sony is reportedly banning PS4 users who pay money to access PlayStation 5's PS Plus collection via a loophole. The PS Plus collection is the library of 20 PS4 games, including 10 first-party games and 10 third-party titles, given exclusively to PS5 owners who are also members of the paid subscription service. However, some PS5 owners have begun exploiting a loophole with the collection, which seems to log them into the user accounts. Excuse me, just 1 second. Burping? Yes, nice. Okay, start that again. However, some PS5 owners have begun exploiting a loophole with the collection, which sees them log into the user accounts of PS4 owners on their next-gen console, which causes the collection games to then automatically unlock on the user's last-gen console. According to Sony's marketing, the PlayStation Plus collection is intended to be a perk for owners of PlayStation 5 consoles only. Unsurprisingly, auction sites including eBay already have multiple listings for people offering to unlock the PS Plus collection for PS4 in exchange for money. At the time of publishing, one user had made over £100 charging 20 users £5 each to unlock the PS Plus collection on their PS4 consoles. According to many users on a popular Chinese forum, Sony has issued multiple bans in the region for both PS5 owners selling access to the PS Plus collection and those PS4 owners who have purchased access to it. According to the users, their bans will last for 2 months, while any PS5 consoles involved in the scheme have been permanently blocked from network services. It's believed PlayStation automatically bans a console when it logs into a high number of user accounts in a single day in order to protect from fraud, so it's not clear if Sony is banning the users simply for sharing their collection games. BGC has requested a comment from Sony Interactive Entertainment. PlayStation CEO, actually, do you know what? We'll leave that. Jim Ryan just saying that they will expand beyond. They're looking at whether it will expand. They haven't decided. And the Game Pass stuff. So yeah, if you have a PlayStation 4 and you want PS5 games, the PS Plus collection that you get from being a PS5 user, you can get that by logging in someone's console. Just be careful, because if you do that illegitimately, you may get punished. So there you go. What are your thoughts on that, Bib?
I'm surprised it's taken this long. I don't know how long. I don't know if they knew that this was going to happen anyway. I mean, it's something that I mentioned. Yeah, like you said, you said that I touched on it last week. Where's the grey area on this? Is it selling it, or is it unlocking them for your friend, or both?
Technically, it's both. I mean, technically, you can't do either, because if it says in the rules and regulations that this is a perk reserved for PS5 owners, if I log in on your console, I mean, which I can do. I can come around to your house, not now, but let's say in theory, I can come around to your house, log in on your console so that we can play couch co-op games. I have at least 2 mates' accounts on my PlayStation from when they've been at my house in the past. So in theory, they could log in on my console and just go into the store and go, bloop, bloop, bloop. There we go. I'll take them, please. They don't own the console, but that's kind of PlayStation's fault, because it says you have to own the console, but surely they should have some sort of built-in function in the system there where it says actually this is not your console, it's not marked as your PS5, it's marked to this account's PS5. I need to unregister it and register on theirs, kind of thing, which you can only do once every 6 months or whatever. That kind of stuff stops it. But if anyone could just log in, then that's almost like an oversight. Someone hadn't thought about that at PlayStation's end. So yeah, I mean, that said, if my mates that are on my console logged in and redeemed the games, I think they'd be like, yeah, whatever, that's fine. It's when you start selling it to 20 odd people, I think that's when it becomes an issue. So if you have a mate that doesn't have a PS5,
I've done it for Samantha.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, so it's down. So my PS4 that's downstairs in the front room.
PlayStation.
Ban you motherfuckers. So yeah, my PS4 that's now downstairs in the front room has the ability to play the games that I've got on my PlayStation 5. But obviously that's within one household, and I still have my account signed in on the PlayStation 4 downstairs. So come at me, bro. Nah, I think it is a massive grey area, but the grey area kind of becomes redundant when you're selling it on eBay to unlock the games.
If you're making a profit off it, then you're opening yourself up. You are making money off of an exploit, which is cheating. Cheating is basically illegal. I mean, obviously technically cheating and illegal. I suppose I don't know. Forget the technicalities. Cheating is bad. Being illegal is bad. Do you know, if you're doing something that's bad, then do you know what? Sometimes you get bad consequences, and that's just one of those things. That's one of those things. Gaz J says, I still think that they may buy up more studios. Microsoft seem to have their eye firmly set first-party titles. They have to. They let the Xbox One generation down massively, says Tito, and agreed, says Gaz. I fully agree, and I think Xbox, they won't say it now, because the Xbox One generation is still alive, but give it 3 or 4 years, then they'll happily go, oh, in the past we were shit, but now we're better, because that's what you're allowed to do PR-wise. It's the same, so many different things. I mean, the one that rings true to me, because it's something we work on and have a lot of affection for, and we'll be playing after this, is PES. Obviously, during the PS3 generation, PES dropped the ball massively. I can say this because PES will tell you this. The team at PES will tell you that they didn't handle that switch to that generation, which made them lose a lot of ground. They did well to pick up towards the end of the generation. And then obviously switching the engine slowed them down again when they moved to Fox Engine, but picked up again. But they wouldn't have told you that at the time, because how can you do that from a PR perspective? You can't go, we fucked up, because
it's kind of suicide at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So Xbox won't say it now, but I imagine 3 or 4 years time they'll happily go, yeah, we did drop the ball. We dropped a massive bollock. But we've bought Bethesda, and we've now got this, and we've now got that, and we've got this and that and the other. We can fix it. So everything's fine now. Now we can talk about how we were shit back then. But then, no, it's fine. It's fine. Best place to play. Most powerful console of games. But
it's the same as what happened with Vita. It's exactly the same as what happened with Vita. Like PlayStation, I don't think I've uttered the words Vita in about 4.5 years, maybe 5. It used to get featured at 1 or 2 conferences, and then it's still massive in Japan. Like, it's probably one of the best handhelds that still get used to this day because they're still bringing out games. It's a JRPG machine over there now. It doesn't get used for anything else, and I don't think it ever did. But over here in the West, that died years and years ago, which deeply upset me. Speaking
I,
of which, my brother gave me his PSP.
I
Like, but
mean,
this thing here is the best handheld that I have ever had.
I just want to point out that the Vita actually has a very useful function and universally used as well. If you need something to occupy space in a drawer but you can't remember which drawer it is, then that is what your Vita does. You know it will be taking space up in a drawer somewhere for you. You can't tell you which drawer off the bat. I'll have to check 2 or 3 first to figure out which one it's in, but it's in one of them. That's my Vita. That's what a lot of people's Vita is. The worst thing with Vita is yesterday as I was playing through Astrobot and finishing the murals that you get in the game.
Mm.
One of the things on the wall, it said Vita equals life, yeah, and it's like, I mean, I know Vita actually translates in Latin to life. That's what it means. But I'm just thinking, Vita equals life. It was dead from day one. That's just irony. You can't. Surely you were opening yourself up to something in there. God damn it.
It's massively unfortunate. It was an amazing I think most people, especially in the PES community, used that way back on 2016,
Grinding.
2016, and most of 18, where they just used it for grinding, like you just mentioned. So yeah, I think that's where it got the most use from most people in the PES community.
I did
but...
not absolutely do that. I did that. I probably did that. Just score a goal. Watching something on TV, pick up the Vita, score a goal, pass it back to the keeper. Carry on watching something on TV. Oh, second half, pass it back to the keeper. Keep watching. Oh, I conceded. Okay, I'll score a goal, pass it back to the keeper, watch TV. Yeah, pretty much it. Anyway, let's put a pin in that one. Obviously, the PS Plus collection is available for PS5 users. And do you know what? PS4 users, you probably could get access to it as well. Just don't be a dick. I mean, I'm not condoning it, like getting it for friends or whatever or so on. But if you were to do that, do not go overboard. I mean, you're already pushing the envelope. Don't start adding it for 7, 8, 9, 10 mates because you're gonna brick your PS5. People can't get hold of PS5s, let alone brick ones. So if you do that, goddamn.
You may as well give a shit either. Like if you bricked it and they're just able to play on their PS4 games on the the PlayStation Plus games on their PlayStation 4. They're not asked if they get your console bricked. They've just got like 20 new games to play.
Imagine if you've got a mate who has purchased a PS5 and it hasn't arrived. Someone has half-inched that, and you go, do you know what? I'll get the games for you as soon as you get a PS5 anyway. And then they get their console bricked. Imagine that. It's like
You'd be fuming, wouldn't you?
Oh, gutted.
There's no coming back from that.
That's it. Friendship over. When your PS5 arrives, it's mine. That's what it is. Speaking of PS5s going missing, I mean, that was a good conversation piece, but it was also a nice cheesy tangent, as Andy Robinson at VG says. Missing PS5 Amazon UK deliveries, which you may remember we covered a lot last week, are to be investigated by BBC's Watchdog. Consumer Issue show calls for evidence into orders replaced with cat food and grills. So the BBC's Consumer Issue show Watchdog is set to investigate the recent reports from Amazon UK customers that their PS5 pre-orders went missing during delivery. Following this month's launch, dozens of UK-based Amazon customers claim that their PS5 consoles did not arrive as scheduled, despite being marked as delivered by couriers. Some consumers even reported receiving erroneous items in place of their PS5 consoles, such as kitchen appliances and cat food, or only empty boxes. In its latest segment on Wednesday's The One Show, which the BBC claims is watched by up to 5 million viewers each week, presenter Matt Allwright highlighted how UK retailers struggled to match demand during the Xbox Series X and PS5 launches this month. The majority of the segment was dedicated to reports of Xbox pre-orders failing to be fulfilled by retailer Currys PC World. However, Allwright acknowledged the recent reports of Amazon UK customers receiving erroneous orders instead of PS5 consoles. The presenter encouraged viewers to get in touch if they had information on the missing orders, and after the show aired, he claimed he'd received an amazing response. There is an embedded tweet there from Andy Robinson, who is the obviously the author of this article. I won't click play on the video just because BBC might come after us, DMCA and all that shit. But if you do want to watch that video, then check out Andy Platonic on Twitter. Anyway, I'll be working through everything with the team and seeing how we can take things forward. He wrote on Twitter, that being Matt Allwright of the of the one show. Anyway, feeling this, people need a bit of escape and hope right now. I don't underestimate the positive effects that gaming can have. A big question also to be asked about launching both so close to Christmas. He added, would a good answer be to make sure that customers whose PS5 and Xbox orders weren't fulfilled are top of the list when new stock arrives? Many of the Amazon UK customers who had their pre-orders go missing have alleged foul play on the part of delivery drivers, with one even filming their courier failing to deliver the next-gen console, and Amazon later claimed it had cut ties with the driver. Another Amazon UK customer posted a video on Twitter of them confronting their delivery driver after they allegedly marked their PS5 delivered without doing so. Birmingham-based George claimed that it took a week to receive a response from Amazon after his PS5 did not arrive. Console has been lost in transit, aka stolen. Actions may be taken against the driver. Not good enough, he wrote. Refund given, and they are not able to prioritise new stock. Mentioned nothing about additional controller. Also ordered that was stolen. Given £50 gift, an absolute insult given the amount of time I've spent chasing up, anxiety I've received from the intimidation from the driver, and the amount of time I'm going to have to spend sourcing a new console. Priority on new stock is a must. In a statement issued last week, a spokesperson for Amazon UK said the firm was investigating what had happened to the orders. We're all about making our customers happy. And that hasn't happened for a small proportion of these orders, it said. We're really sorry about that. And are investigating exactly what's happened. We're reaching out to every customer who's had a problem and made us aware so we can put it right. Sony has committed to making more PS5 console stock available before the end of the year. That's fine. So, Amazon, shitloads of PS5s go missing, delivery drivers stealing things, and in their quest to put it right, they have done a lot of wrong. It's as simple as that. We covered it last week. There are people that are getting... I mean, that guy got £50, which is not great when you're expecting something that costs £450 and then have all of that bullshit around it. Having delivery drivers stealing things, having people having to chase up Amazon customer services, having to go through all these hoops and then still not getting any priority. Something that is so in demand and exploited, as we've seen over the past few weeks with the scalper stuff as well, which is something that we will come on to in a few seconds. Amazon absolutely shitting a brick there by failing their customer at the first point, not giving them any suitable recompense, and then not willing to look after them and hold their hand in terms of getting new products. Okay, I mean, one of the questions that Matt Allright says is, would that be good enough, offering them first refusal at the next consoles? I mean, I don't know if it's good enough, but it's absolutely a necessary start. That's my opinion. Anyway, what are your thoughts, babe?
I think we're going to start to see some serious jail time coming off the back of this. I think the best case scenario would for the people who have managed to rob someone else's console and replace it with something else. Best case scenario would them losing their job. I think now we get into a stage where there's that many that have gone missing or swapped out. That people, I mean, I hope the people who have been offered some sort of small compensation hasn't taken it, because if they take that, they ain't entitled to get any more. So hopefully they'll be able to fight this one. Now Watchdog are getting in there. I think these people who have been switching them out will start to see some fitters, start to see some jail time. This isn't something... I'm not just saying this because it's a console, because this is theft of the highest order. You've been given a job to either be in the warehouse to store these consoles in a box to then get delivered to someone. This could be like a 10-person chain job. Do you know what I mean? So the person who's meant to put it into the box has replaced it with something else, and the person who's delivered it has sniped it or put it in the back of their car. You don't know the chain of people that are involved in this. So this goes deeper than it just being a few mistakes, considering how many of these consoles have gone AWOL.
It's systemic. It's horrendous that anyone should... I mean, for someone to have a job requires all sorts of hoops. You don't just rock up to a place and go, okay, that's it, I work here. You don't know who I am, where I live, my social security numbers, are all of that stuff. Yeah, nobody knows that. No, they know everything. They have everything on you. And for something that is purely, I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? Like this, Amazon's system is so technical. They know how many minutes it takes you to pick up, to take a box from one shelf to put it onto a thingy to mark it as like being processed within the warehouse. They know who you are, what you're doing, and how long it's taking you to do it. So the fact that people think that they can steal things and get away with it shows that either they are absolute fools, or there is a systemic issue there, something that can be exploited. And if people can do that so intensively and so heavily without proper punishments from Amazon other than cutting ties, that's theft. That's workplace theft. If you stole 500 quid's worth of hardware, if you left your work at the end of the day and just took your PC with you, you're going to get a little bit arrested. Yeah. I mean, it's as simple as that. Not only are you losing your job, but there's going to be some sort of legal stuff going on there. I mean, not always. Some firms will just say, give us the PC back and get gone, and then we'll call it quits because it's easier than the bullshit. But if that's not acceptable when it impacts on customers. When it's impacting on customers, then that's the thing. And I'm wondering if that's the case. If Amazon have just gone, okay, Dodgy Dave in the warehouse picked up a PS5, stuck it in his van, taking it home. Okay, that's it, Dave. One, you've been fired. There's no other bit to say on that. I mean, Dave's like, I hated my job anyway. I didn't really need the less than minimum wage kind of stress and bullshit. So yeah, whatever. I'm not asked. And if they go, okay, give us the PS5 back, or we're going to call the police. If he gives them the PS5 back, Amazon go, oh, okay, well, bullet dodge them. We'll stick that on warehouse deals because it's been open. We can't sell it for 500 quid. We can sell it for 300 quid and it'll go. Job's good. And if they're doing that and just brushing it under the carpet because it means they don't have to chase down the legal stuff, then that is probably where the issue is. People know that if I steal it and I get caught, oh well, worst case, I lose a job that I hate. Best case, I keep a PS5 and I keep a job that I hate until I can steal the next one or whatever. So yeah, they need to crunch down on it in that sort of sense. The fact that it's widespread enough for Watchdog to look into it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is maybe it's not widespread enough. Maybe it is just a very hot topic, and Watchdog have seen it, and it's not necessarily widespread, but everyone that has an opinion on it, that's anyone that's been affected by it, is very vocal. Because how can you fix it? This is Christmas. It's not just a gift for me that I've been looking forward to for 7 years. It could be a gift for my son that he's been looking forward to 7 years. If I'd ordered one for Chloe, I'd be very vocal about it on social media. Yeah. So maybe it's not actually that widespread. Maybe it's just Watchdog realizing, okay, it's very vocal. It's what people want to know about. Maybe even clickbait. So how about we just put it as a headline story? Maybe it's the BBC playing the media game potentially. I don't know. But either way, it's a shit show and it shouldn't have happened. And Amazon should do a better job at fixing it. Whatever the reasons are for the staff or so on. Go on, what are you saying?
They must be. I don't want to say Amazon must be absolutely shitting themselves, but to know that someone like Watchdog is getting involved, they will have to see a lot of their things, or they're just putting too much attention on them. So, like, who was delivering the parcels? Where was their routes? Who was involved in the picking and the packing of the products? Like this could unlock potentially a lot more stuff, or a lot more dodgy dealings surrounding Amazon and their warehouses and their employees. I mean, it's not new news that a lot of the Amazon employees are working at extra long hours. I don't want to use the word crunch when it comes to stuff like this. A lot of them are probably getting paid minimum wage and they're working 14 hours a day. Do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't necessarily use it as crunch, because crunch almost implies an uptick in stress. Whereas Amazon workers, there has been all sorts of research into it. I mean, obviously, some of that investigative journalism is still journalism to a point. So I think Dispatches might have done something on it, which Dispatches is a bit more. I mean, it's still journalism, but also broadcasting at the same time. Journalism is about showing you the facts. Broadcasting is about getting eyes on. And there is a balance and offset of, some do tell you the story. Some tell you the story in a way that makes you watch it, and the watching it is where they get the revenue from the advertisements. So you kind of need a bit of both. But let's take it with a pinch and say that yes, Amazon workers are exploited. So not crunched, but constantly exploited. Then that does kind of set the whole situation up a little bit. Yeah. The flip side is now people will also be saying they were stolen just to try obtain compensation / more PS5s, and Amazon have no way of knowing the genuine from the fraudulent claims. I mean, I do agree with that. There will be some people say that's it. Well, whatever. I'm one of these as well. You do get a lot of like follow the crowd, jump on the bandwagon sort of thing with that kind of stuff. That said, I mean, whether it was just lost or stolen or whatever, I think it's I wouldn't even say it's the size and scale of the ball dropped on this. I think the issue is not enough supply and demand on something that is a very media heavy topic, particularly within a pandemic when people are hoping for something to break the monotony, or people have been waiting for this forever. Throughout all of that, there's probably more eyes on it. Pound for pound, I imagine there may be an uptick in the number of the number of items stolen or lost in general, but maybe it's not actually too much higher than other things. But yeah, like you say, anything that does go lost or whatever off the back of this, I wouldn't be bothered if people do throw their hat into the ring, jump on the bandwagon. I mean, they've still paid for a console that hasn't turned up, even if it is just literally fallen off the back of a forklift and the stock has been misskewed or something like that. At the end of the day, Amazon are being paid to provide a service, and they earn shitloads from it. So fix it. But yeah, David says, "Why am I getting fired? I don't work for Amazon." Dodgy Dave. Well, you shouldn't have stolen the PS5s then. Grassed up by my own brother, the cheek. Gary, good morning. Hey, welcome in, dude. Mr. D says, "I think these watchdogs lads will need a legion to get to the bottom of this." God. And do you know what? I'm gonna have to crack down on Asim and these puns, babe, because when it comes to these puns, Ubisoft and him.
You guys need to fill your time a little bit better.
Speaking of filling time, I apologise. Paul, helpful here as Paul, an hour ago hosted the channel as we went live, and I never actually called it out as we went on air. I've just seen it again now, so thank you very much, Paul. Appreciate the host. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Oh, just to point out a very important message as well. It's my birthday this week. Just saying. Thursday. Just saying. Anyway, yeah, the issue about this Amazon stuff wouldn't be an issue if there was enough stock. It's as simple as that. If everyone could get hold of the consoles and your console went missing, Amazon, you absolute set of bellends, where is my PS5? Oh, it looks like it's gone missing. We'll send you another. Okay, I'm annoyed now, but you've got another one. Okay, can I have 25 quid? Yeah, nice, I'll sort it, whatever. Then it's a different world then. But obviously, time is what's relevant. Time being right now, it's fresh, it's brand new, there isn't any available. But do you know what is the reason for that? Well, one of the reasons, as mentioned, is scalpers. As we mentioned last week, one scalper group had claimed that it had bagged 3,500 PS5 consoles. So if you can't get one, that's because they've got 3,500 of them, the fuckers, and they're selling them for an extortionate profit. But it's not just PS5 consoles that they're marking prices up on, as we can see from this article, also written by Andy Robinson at VGC. It says, now PS5 Scalper Group claims it's obtained 1,000 Xbox Series X consoles. Reseller firm previously said it had no regrets over flipping 3,500 PS5s for profit. A scalper group targeting next-gen console shortages has claimed it obtained more than 1,000 Xbox Series X consoles on Sunday. Crep Chief Notify is a company comprising thousands of paid members, which is based in the UK but recently launched in the US. It is said to utilise bot software to circumvent online retail queues and automatically purchase consoles as they come in stock. The group recently rose to prominence after it boasted that its members had obtained some 3,500 PS5 consoles to resell for profit. On Sunday, Crep Chief Notify claimed it's now managed to obtain a significant amount of Xbox Series X consoles from an unnamed retailer. Update: speaking anonymously, one member claimed the retailer was UK firm Very. All I'm saying is Bibby got his console from Very. That's all I'm going to say. You can't see
yes,
it.
I did.
Baby's off screen, but he's doing gum fingers. That's what I mean. You make your own whatever. Anyway, we just notified our members of an Xbox Series X restock on a very well-known online retailer. It said on its social channels they have now managed to secure over 1,000 plus today, and there's still many hours left. You snooze, you lose. Asshole. Let me just stop for a second. They've got no regrets about doing this. They're helping their users to put food on the table, is their argument that they said last week, which we picked apart anyway. But to add in you snooze, you lose, when there are literal families going without that would idolise this console for the next 7 years, particularly the next month. absolute assholes. Yeah.
Well, the only people are going to get the only way that they're going to be sat on these and sell and not being able to sell them is if people don't buy them. But people obviously want them, and that's exactly why they do it. It's just supply and demand from their standpoint, which is absolutely fine because it technically is. But morally, it's still a fucking wanker. But yeah, what can you do? It's not illegal.
I mean, it's not illegal. It's just a shitty move as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's it. We've said this before. It's capitalism. You can buy something and sell it for a profit. That's what you are entitled to do. So we can't have a go at that. It's the morals. Morals and ethics is different from legals, and that's it's just an ethical argument. That's all it is. Still, even though you're not breaking the law, I can still, from my perspective, think that you were an asshole, which I do, Crep Chief Notify. I think you are promoting horrendous behaviours, but yeah, that's my opinion, which I am ethically allowed to have. So there you go.
Just become best friends.
Unsurprisingly, Crep Chief Notify has attracted negative comments from consumers struggling to obtain a PS5 and Xbox Series X console this month, with units sold out at virtually every major retailer and auction listing sites consoles for more than double their retail price. Do you know what? We don't need to see the rest of the stuff because we kind of guess what they're saying there. They've managed to snag 4,500 next-gen consoles plus, with the aim purely of taking extra money off of people. My ideal for this situation, my absolute ideal for this situation right now would be someone to just go, oh, fuck. Oh, didn't even notice that ferry cruise liner that's just turned up with 72,000 PS5s and whatever. So the market just gets flooded. And these people are sat there with their rooms full of like 8 PS5s that they can only sell for not even 459 because, well, 449 because that's what it is in the market. Oh, that's pre-owned, mate. I'm not buying that for 449. I'll buy it 400 quid. I would love it if just a million turned up now and it's like, oh shit, we have to sell it at 50 quid loss per console. That would be the ideal. It's not going to happen, but that would be the ideal. I would absolutely love it if that would happen.
You will love it. Keep Kev over here.
Hey, exactly. It's just a pity it's going to be a while for Watch Dogs to do anything. It'll be at least next year from what I read during the first lockdown, unless they're doing Christmas special. They said they don't expect much to be on air until March. I can sense the Division puns, the puns are causing even. You could write an odyssey about the origins of the misplaced PlayStation 5s. Hey!
Fuck's sake.
They should be arrested for that name alone. Crep Chief Notify. Jesus, are they a bunch of 11-year-olds? Yeah, I mean that's it's the It all comes from Crep's trainers. That's what they originally did. So they started off being a notification service for fresh crepes, not the food. Right, that's a different kind of fresh crepes. I would absolutely smash the shit out of one of those right now. By the way, just saying. So yeah. I can see where it comes from, but oh, yeah, I agree. It certainly is a far cry to the industry to make changes. Easily just cause to do so, says Madge. It's illegal in some states in the US. Although it's not classed as a federal offence. You can get up to a year in some places. It's classed as a misdemeanor. Tito says, "Yep, definitely goes beyond good and evil." Can't imagine it being illegal here as the government are a bunch of bellends. I mean. It's one of those things. I don't think it is illegal in the UK. It's just shitty, and it's not. It depends on certain industries to make changes, because there is issues in it. Like the US has much more stringent antitrust laws, and antitrust is all about monopolizing markets and price fixing and things like that, which usually is across larger retailers, and these are obviously lower end retailers, but yeah, as we mentioned last week, there's legalities surrounding if they are buying and selling in bulk. Should there be taxes being paid on that? I mean, in theory, there should be. If you're buying, if that Crep Chief Notify is assisting with 3,500 sales of consoles, I mean, does that count as a business? I don't know. I mean, it probably doesn't. But the people that are buying, if they're buying a certain threshold, then it's probably not enough per person to trigger anything legal, which is just what's frustrating. It just shows that the industry needs to put their money where its mouth is. It needs PlayStation and Xbox to influence the retailers.
Yeah.
And say, okay, we're going to sell these consoles anyway. I either sell them to you and you change your system, so that people can buy them that want them, not just want to make money off them and exploit other people. Or I sell them to Eclipse Games, who got 1 or 3, can't remember, not enough consoles last year and sold it instantly because it was gonna sell. I'll give them more so that they can sell it to their customers, that go into their independent shop and sell them face to face. If they don't take it on themselves to put pressure on the retailers just want to make the money. It's capitalism. It's the same way that these guys just want to make the money, but the retailers just want to make the money through the supply chain. These guys just want to make money outside of the supply chain and take exponential profit, which is not good. It's not good. It's not nice. It's not nice. Much love to the crew for putting up with these puns. I'm out of games now. I'm done. How much would it cost to get hackers to DDoS the site until the consoles are on full release in every store? I might set up a GoFundMe. The thing is, it's the Discord, though. To take it down, you'd have to take... I imagine you'd take shitloads of other Discords down. By the way, we have a Discord, exclamation mark Discord in the chat. Please don't DDoS that. Nice. Ticket selling scalping is illegal here, so why can't scalping physical goods be the same? Weird. I mean, that's it. Ticket selling is illegal, but I don't know if that comes under a different events law or something. And that's where we get into like the bullshit of legalities. And even if they were to make this a thing, the uproar around this will die off in the next 12 months, and laws and changes don't happen that quickly. So by the time that this would get into place to being spoke about, it wouldn't be a big uproar and it'd just disappear. And then 7 years' time, when the next gen comes around, it'll happen again. So it needs Xbox and PlayStation to remember this now and effect change now in retailers, because it's 2020. We should be able to purchase something with the aim of purchasing. I mean, if the same card is used multiple times, that could be one thing. Yeah, all right, I'll create another account, but use the same card. Okay, well, that card's been used. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Some people have multiple cards, and then scalpers will just get extra cards and stuff, and there will be ways around that. But each block, each barrier reduces the number of people that are doing it. And this is just me as someone that's not even thought in it. That's just throwing out words on stream. There will be something that's even more advanced that's probably been discussed many, many times, but retailers are like, I could do that. But that's probably going to make sure that we don't sell stuff as fast, which I am a retailer. I want to sell stuff as fast as I can. So no, thank you. Without that pressure, it's not going to happen. Anyway, let's wrap things up. We do have one article left, though. Who wants to hear about Uri Geller? Yeah, nice.
From Eurogamer. Eurogamer.
No, Uri Geller, not Uri Gamer. We've already heard from Uri Gamer. We had Vikki Blake at start of the show. No, this is from VG247, not Uri Gamer, but it's Uri Geller. It should have been known Uri Gamer because that would have been nice. Uri Gamer reports Uri Geller. Anyway, Uri Geller allows the Pokemon Company to print Kadabra on Pokemon cards again. This is written by Don Peppiatt for VG247. If I asked you, who does Kadabra look like, would anyone have said Uri Geller? Because I absolutely 100% wouldn't have done. But there you go. Apparently that's a thing. Spoon-bending magician Uri Geller has finally given Nintendo permission to print Kadabra on Pokemon cards again after a 20-year legal battle in which Geller claimed the character's likeness was too familiar to his own. After an article on The Gamer once again dug into why the mid-stage evolution psychic Pokemon hasn't appeared on Pokemon cards in about 2 decades, Geller appears to have enjoyed a change of heart. I am truly sorry for what I did 20 years ago, Geller tweeted. Kids and grown-ups, I am releasing the ban. It's now all up to Nintendo to bring my Kadabra Pokemon card back. It will probably be one of the rarest cards now. Much energy and love to all. And then within the tweet that he's posted an image which has a headline saying Uri Geller gives Nintendo permission to print Kadabra on Pokemon cards again. Kadabra's 20-year disappearing act is over thanks to a change of heart from illusionist Uri Geller. Illusionist? Nice. So the historic dispute goes back to the year 2000, in which Geller slammed Nintendo for using his likeness with Kadabra. I mean, still don't see it. I mean, yes.
No, I don't.
Kadabra has eyes. Let's open this link. Let's get the image. Come on. There we go. Yes, Kadabra has eyes. And Uri Geller also has eyes. I can see that. Oh, Uri Geller has a long nose, as does Kadabra. Kadabra has a big mega mustache hanging off. He doesn't. Kadabra holds a spoon. So does Uri Geller. I mean, every time I eat my breakfast, cereal, I own a spoon. Doesn't mean I'm impersonating Uri Geller. So, I mean, that's... To use Pokemon punnage, that likeness is a bit far-fetched. I mean, no. I'm not having it. Anyway, let's jump back into the article. The historic dispute goes back to the year 2000, in which Geller slammed Nintendo for using his likeness with Kadabra, whose Japanese name is written as either Youngera or Geller and Geller. You can see why the real-life magician took issue with it. Nintendo turned me into an evil, occult Pokemon character, Geller said back in 2000. Nintendo stole my identity by using my name and my signature image. So why the change of heart? Well, it appears Geller has softened somewhat over the years, and the gamer's recent article reopened some old wounds for Geller and Pokemon fans alike. Speaking to the gamer, Geller said, "Due to the tremendous volume of emails I am still getting begging me to allow Nintendo to bring back Kadabra/Young-Geller, I sent a letter to the chairman of Nintendo giving them permission to relaunch the Uri Geller Kadabra/Young-Geller worldwide. Though Geller's request has reportedly been picked up by 2 Nintendo representatives, it's unclear when we will once again see Kadabra appear on the face of a Pokemon card. Hopefully, it'll be worth the wait. The last time we saw the first generation Pokemon on a card was way back in 2003. Bib, thoughts?
Just when you thought 2020 couldn't get any more weirder. Like, I never even knew that this was a thing. Also, as someone, this is a question for you, as someone who is live and die by Pokemon, what the hell is a young Geller?
It's clearly a dodgy bloke with a spoon getting absolutely ripped off. That's the only thing it could be to me. Yeah. Did Uri Geller not see this coming?
I like that.
GG,
I like
Viv.
that.
GG, Viv. I absolutely appreciate that.
But it's the dumbest thing I think I've probably ever seen in a news article. Like, why did Nintendo cave to this? Like, they must have that kind of adds fuel to the fire from my perspective. Like, if they've pulled Kadabra from any of the Pokemon cards, was they using his spoon bending, mind reading abilities for their own profit? Why did they cave into it? Because it seems weird.
I mean, you kind of get that stuff. There was another thing. I'm trying to remember what it is. There was an episode where, like, there's an episode of Pokemon that doesn't get shown on TV, and I'm trying to remember what the story is. It's just, it's an absolute non-comment for me to say. There's an episode that doesn't get shown, and I don't know why. But I'll try and remember what it is. It's something like, I don't know if it has too much flashing or something in it, and someone said that it was potentially a danger to maybe epilepsy. I could be completely wrong with this comment. So rather than doing the research and softening it or whatever, Nintendo, in a true Nintendo fashion, just went, boom, it's gone, it doesn't exist anymore, we'll stop that, we don't want any potential lawsuits and get rid. So I'm assuming that's what's happened with this. Kadabra has just been abracadabraed. Poof, he disappeared. But yeah, Viv says, I would have thought his trademark going for abracadabra, not his like. So is that his trademarked magic phrase? Because I thought abracadabra was just a generic, like, magician-y thing. Yeah, I didn't realize that was a Uri Geller thing. I mean, maybe they did go for the it was inspired by, but it doesn't look like him. It has a spoon in its hand. But yeah, I don't know. Uri Geller, he threw a fork or spoon in the road. Hey, it's all to do with the spoon bending. It's like, what? Uri Geller has 3 lightning tattoos above his cock. True story. Uri Geller was an honorary board member for my local football club, Exeter City. He brought Jacko to St James's Park, also nearly sent us under with 2 criminal board members. Sounds about right. Uri Geller, he's a cuts, Lurie above the rest. Hey. Our good old con artist Uri Geller, still scratching for clout. Yeah, it's just...
How old is it now? It must be in his 70s.
He's got to be. Uri Geller looking to be relevant. Yeah, he's not got long left. He just wanted to get a one final hurrah. That's what it is. Uri Geller looking to be relevant in 2020 this year. It really has been mental. Too much flashing? Where misses? Well, you never know. Was a dad joke? We're fine. Okay, that's good. Oof, I was gonna say. I mean, there's too many jokes in the chat. I don't know what's real and what's not anymore. Yeah, the fact that Kadabra hasn't been printed on a Pokemon card for 17 years after a legal battle that's been going for 20 years is just shows you. I mean, some companies are absolutely terrified. Like, Nintendo will come after you. If you use their brand, they will come after you, as we've seen with the Mario Kart stuff in New York being squashed and all sorts of other things being squashed. But you go after them, and they will just go, oh, shit, well, we need to squash our own stuff. Anything when it comes to trademark and copyrights, Nintendo are all over locking that stuff down. I mean, it's nice to see Kadabra back, but did it really need to be a thing that's lasted 17 years? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Gary says, I bet even the spoons hate Uri Geller at this point. To be fair, I mean, at this point, that's something that they probably did earlier on, because this was a guy that broke them in half just using his mind on TV. I mean, if there's anyone that's going to be pissed off at Uri Geller, it's Spoons. Spoons are probably one of the first people there. It was something to do with Porygon for flashing scenes causing seizures. That's the one. I'm not Evie, but yeah. Porygon was... It was like... There's a meme, like a community meme around it, like save Porygon or Porygon didn't do it or something along those. Porygon was innocent or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, Porygon doesn't get featured on TV or in the anime or something now because of that or something along those lines. I heard Uri Geller tried to sue the Matrix over the fact there is no spoon, and thus gave away the secret to his trick. No, I am the spoon. Fuck me! Oh my god! I bet Nintendo forgot about this by and large. Yeah, they probably did. Someone's just gone, like, there's just like a no print note, and someone's just gone, oh yeah, all right, yeah, don't print that one. We must already have enough. It's all right, yeah, it's fine. I bet he loves
Probably
spooning.
never brought it up. They're embarrassed. They've been mugged off by Uri Geller. For fuck's sake.
Do you know? I would love for Nintendo to go. Statement. Uri Geller says we can now print Kadabra. After looking at the situation and seeing that he thinks it looks like him, nah, you're all right. We've gone 17 years without it. We don't need it anymore. It's fine. I mean, Abra and Alakazam are all we need. Get the fuck out of here. And on that bombshell, we are going to get the fuck out of here. Uri Geller, do you know what? You can do one. We will do one too. We will do one too. Uri Geller, the spoon-bending mind reader who couldn't tell that Wacko Jacko was touching kids. David, come on. This is a Twitch chat. Don't go that deep. Which is also what she said. Anyway, actually, probably not the best joke to make after that. Okay, we'll put a pin in it. Nintendo, we regret to inform you that Kadabra was a Pokepest. We won't be reprinting it. Exactly. There you go. There you go. That's the sentiment. Anyway, we're going to wrap things up. We are going to be back on the channel imminently, though, with Masters of the League. Said in a Jeremy Clarkson voice just because I can, you know.
Yeah.
It's my birthday week. I can do what I want. It's my birthday on Thursday. Do you know what? I'm not the only one getting presents, though. If you want to bag yourself some presents, ! Giveaway. Do you know what? I'm going to type it in the chat for you. ! Giveaway. That tweet has details of how you can enter our giveaway, which closes at 4:30 today. So if you haven't entered already, that's your last chance to do so. And if you have entered before, then don't forget there are extra daily entries as well. One of them is just joining us on the stream. So there you go. So make sure you click the link, do your extra daily entries and things like that, and get yourself in. Like I say, it ends at 4:30 today. If you're a sub on the channel, make sure you go in and just link the accounts in play.gg, because that gets you 10 entries. And just retweeting the tweet, which is free, gets you 10 entries. All it takes is one to win, though. But, you know, you might as well add to your odds. Happy birthday, Graham. I hope Bibi buys you a large cream cake. Well, we'll see. We'll see. GT Omega are giving me a flaw.
A large cream cake.
I mean,
yeah.
We'll see, babe. So I'm saying I'm expecting cream cake now, so.
Costco's calling.
Yeah. But yes, as mentioned, we will finish. We're going to be back in a bit with Masters of the League. Before we disappear, though, Bib, is there anything you want to add in?
Yes, thank you very much for joining us today, ladies and gentlemen. Monday, it's a Monday, so it's the start of the week. So that means that you've got various opportunities to get involved with the show. And there's two ways that you can do that. First of all, find us on social media. It's at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social platforms. Second way, join us in our Discord. There's an area in there called The Scoop. All we need you to do is drop in the URL to the article, as well as your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions in the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
That time tomorrow will be at 10 a.m.
Ish.
Do you know what? Let me just... I've not fully vetted the link, but there you go. There's a link to the Porygon episode on Wikipedia if you want to find out about Porygon being banned in the anime. There you go. There you go. And I was right. It was epilepsy that it was all around. Madge, thank you very much for dropping the socials and the Discord links. Much appreciated. Also, to Tito for saying, I'm not sure I'd want Baby's creamy horn. I must say that I am very partial to a creamy horn, actually. So, yeah, do with that information as you will. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic day. We'll see you in a bit for Master of the League. Until then, stay frosty.
Stay frosty.